A day after the reboot of the Union Cabinet, a number of newly appointed ministers have taken charge of their respective ministries. This includes Mansukh Mandavia, one of the big names as far as the health ministry is concerned, a complete overhaul of the health ministry in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. You have Ashwini Vaishnaw, the new railways and IT minister. He's an ex-IAS officer, has passed out of IIT Kanpur and Wharton. You also have Anurag Thakur, who is the new Information and Broadcasting Minister. He was, remember, ex-MOS Finance. He's also taken charge of Sports and Youth Affairs. Kiran Rijiju has been sworn in, remember, of course, as the new Law Minister of the country. But there are some big changes, some sweeping changes in the Narendra Modi cabinet. And to put these changes in perspective for you, Sanket Upadhyay joins us with the very latest. Sanket, it's been extremely interesting to see this cabinet reshuffle, more like an overhauling as far as Modi 2.0 is concerned. Explain some of these big changes for us.
Absolutely, Rishika. This is a major overhaul. By no stretch of imagination can this be called a minor rejig or reshuffle. This is an overhaul, something that we have not seen happening in governments which usually work in continuum, where there are little changes. This is a mega change. But what is the logic behind these changes? What appears to people very openly, and what is a lesser known fact? So we've been able to, after speaking to a lot of sources, been able to figure out what appeared to be the reason, but what could actually the reason be. So let's talk about Ravi Shankar Prasad's exit, the big exit, the big upset. Now everybody knows and everybody is talking about him picking up a fight with big tech, that he could not resolve the big tech fight, that the new minister is going to inherit a prolonged battle. The truth is that this is not the reason why he has left, because the fight against big tech is a government's position, not Ravi Shankar Prasad's position. In fact, the new minister also has reiterated that people have to follow the law of the land. The real reason is as follows. What is lesser known? Ravi Shankar Prasad was struggling to implement Modi's ambitious BharatNet program. Now, what is BharatNet? Internet to all villages. This program was struggling, and it also missed the 2021 June deadline. So Ravi Shankar Prasad's exit also is being seen in the context of a lot of complaints of him as the law minister. So this could very well be the reality and not the fight with big tech, which we have come to analyze as the main reason behind his exit. Mansukh Mandavia. Now what is known is that Mandavia is an MP from Gujarat. Gujarat is going to polls in 22. This elevation was seen as an effort to shore up support in the PM's home state just ahead of elections. What is lesser known, Rishika, is the fact that Mandavia earned the Prime Minister's praise as shipping minister. During the peak of the second wave, he oversaw the oxygen cryogenic tanker imports. If you remember, a lot of these imports were being made during that period. And it was his ministry which played a crucial and what we are given to believe a silent role in crisis management, which has been appreciated by the Prime Minister. Let's now talk about Ashwini Vaishnaw. Of course, what is known to everyone is that he's a technocrat. You also mentioned Wharton School, IIT Kanpur, former PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee's private secretary, IAS officer from Odisha, known to have administrative experience, 94 batch officer. But the lesser known fact is the reason why he's been brought in is because of his PPP model experience, public-private partnership model experience. Now, BharatNet, this program that I spoke about, which is fledgling, which is not really working, is now going to follow that PPP model. And to get in an experienced hand, a technocrat, a person who understands how bureaucracy works, how government functions, and who's a champion of PPP, for him to be able to implement this model in Modi's ambitious BharatNet scheme is going to be very, very crucial. The same is expected of him, that his ability as an administrator is going to be used in the rail ministry. This is why the tactful handling of these schemes is why he has been elevated, and also the tactful handling of the big tech men. Being a technocrat himself, how will he handle? And do also remember he has a junior minister in Rajiv Chandrasekhar. So between these two, can they tactfully handle the big tech mess without creating a lot of negative publicity for the government, and yet asserting very strongly what the government expects the big tech to do? So that is going to be his role. Kaushal Kishore is another person. Now, you know, he's from the Awadh region of Uttar Pradesh. UP goes to poll in 2022. This elevation is seen as an attempt to provide regional representation in the cabinet. What is not known, Rishika, or lesser known, is that Mr. Kishore was the same gentleman who wrote a letter complaining against the Yogi Adityanath government that there is shortage as far as medical facilities is concerned in Uttar Pradesh. Kishore was, in fact, and that too, that happened at a time when Yogi Adityanath claimed that there is no shortage in UP. He wrote an open letter saying that yes, there is shortage. Also, we must know that Kishore was publicly assured by Amit Shah in a rally during elections that he will be made minister. So it seems that Amit Shah has honored that promise in some way. Nisit Pramanik is another name from West Bengal. Nisit is a young MP, he's all of 35. This reshuffle was seen as, a chance being given to newer faces from Bengal, that after the loss in assembly polls, a reshuffle was bound to affect Bengal also, and the big faces who were asked to, fight the Bengal elections and win, them having failed, like Mr. Babul Supriyo, will be shunted out. So Nisit has been elevated in that capacity. What is less known is that Nisit is a very, very vocal critic of the TMC. Pramanik has also been inducted as Minister of State for Home, which means he'll be working. He's the third MOS Home. Three, junior ministers in the Home Ministry working under Amit Shah. So could this be a case of a specialized central monitoring of the Bengal law and order situation, which means expecting more confrontation between the TMC and the BJP going forward, or the centre and the TMC going forward?